Okay, Mom, you are on. Test.
Hello, everybody. I am just testing. I'll keep on talking as they test me. And this time the they is just Joni because it is so windy outside. We couldn't be outside. And the only person able to be inside with me is Joni because she's in quarantine from work at the moment.
Will anybody watching let us know if you're hearing clearly? We need to turn on the camera. How do I turn on the camera? Live? Good? Okay.
Oh, Joni, explain what just happened.
I apparently didn't have the camera on. Can you see now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Greg is outside in the freezing bitter cold because Joni and I are in here.
Yes. I can hear and I can see.
Okay, you can start, Mom.
Okay. Can I say welcome?
Yes. And thank you, Greg.
We'll warm you up later on with hot tea. Guys, we can begin. Welcome, all of you. Today was beautiful with a blue sky, but a wind like a hurricane. So we tried to work outside, but we couldn't show you anything. The pictures would fly. So welcome, everybody. It's going to be a very interesting program. I begin, as always, with somebody who has not been accepted in the regular world, but fought his way into it. And that has always been in my mind, people with any kind of difference in their body or their thinking that calls them disabled, but they're not.
Can you hold on a minute, Mom? I'm hearing that the camera is not in the right way. So I'm going to try to move the camera.
Sometimes it gets sideways.
Okay, keep going.
Are we okay? Okay. When I was looking, I was going to look for things from Panama and really couldn't find much. But I'm going to get albums from other of the family, and I'll be able to do that, but I will speak about Panama. But I will first begin with little Craig Savitz. A long time ago, when my children were very young, Kenny was 9 and Joni was 11 and a half, we received a call from, it was a newspaper article. And a man named Mike Savitz asked if he could get volunteers to help with his little boy who needed to walk and didn't know how to walk yet. And at that time, it was the beginning of summer school, or rather summer vacation. And I asked the kids, would they be willing to do this during their vacation? And they loved the idea. So I called Mike Savitz, not knowing that this would become a relationship that would change the world for my whole family, for me, my children, my husband, Eric. This was when I looked for things from Panama. I found a drawing when we first met Craig. It was called patterning. We needed 4 volunteers, 1 to hold each hand and 1 to hold each leg, and to move this little boy's limbs as if he were walking, until the brain would learn the pattern. Better than my drawing is a sculpture that Joni, who is running the program right now, created from clay. This is patterning. Joni, the mirror is
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? Okay. This, I want her to explain it.
What this is people holding each of Craig's arms and legs and helping him to learn how to move his body. And the idea was that when you have a situation of brain damage, you can train other parts of the brain to make up for the parts that aren't working. And Doctors Doman and Delicato were the ones who invented this way of working with people. And I did this sculpture when I was very young. I'm not sure how old I was, but it was when we were volunteering.
About 12 years old, about 12 or 13. The phone is ringing, but we're going to ignore it because we don't have a choice. We're not the whole crew, only the two of us. The others are waiting outside. Okay, let me tell you more. I would like, wait, it's possible that we can have the Zavits on now. Could you give me the, it's possible.
What do you want?
The computer. Kenny sent me the picture of the Savits as they are today. Maybe, Joni, maybe you should get the phone. That might be Kenny telling us where they are.
Kenny, if that is you and you have communication to give us, please put it on the screen here so that I know whether or not to answer the phone. Are you looking for the picture of the Savits?
Yes.
Why don't you keep talking and I'll look?
Okay. The Savits family became a part of us and we of them. And I remember the grandmother, when Kenny was being training for violin, she made a little pillow to put on the violin so that it wouldn't hurt his chin. Let me tell you more about the Savage clan. Mike is a brilliant musician, and I have so many stories which are written about him, which I keep in a folder. I have a folder with every painting.
Yeah, Mom, I'm not going to find the picture while we're talking.
Okay.
The whole family was notified, and they may need to listen to it in a recording. And if I see them on here, Mom, I will tell you.
Wonderful, okay. And as for the mother, Ellie could sing like a star, and she was one. She would sing Second-Hand Rose and other songs like that, and she was brilliant. But in our minds, the brilliance came for how they worked with their children. Nothing was too difficult. I remember Ellie once saying, someday I'll have a living room with regular furniture instead of things for Greg to learn to walk. Their whole life was wonderful. And to this day, next time, maybe I can get pictures of them. It's possible. You see, we're discombobulated because we can't be outside. We can't be helping each other. We're hidden in here from the storm because it really is a storm outside.
Meredith Savitz is watching.
Oh, Meredith. Let me ask you if your grandmother is still alive, because she meant so much to me. I think I did a drawing of her once. But we will stay in touch, because you've shaped my family. I think both my children became the human beings they are, because when they walked into a room with Greg there, he was so happy, and they learned how important it is to be there for people. as he was there for us.
Meredith says he has passed. She has passed. But she said, yes, you are ours as well, our family.
Oh, we have to get together somehow. But both Joni and Kenny realized their value because of the way Craig acted towards them. When they came in, especially when they came in with our dog, there was joy in the room. As a matter of fact, I have a card which Ellie, Craig's mother, wrote to Kenny and said, "To my adopted son." They adopted us and we adopted them. Okay, let me do this. Let me be more explicit about how they affected us. My grandson, my grandchild Jesse, works with children of special needs. My granddaughter, through marriage, because now Kenny and Greg, when they married, they created a wonderful new family for me. Mary works with children of special needs and gets them to love her in the most incredible way. As a matter of fact, she was teaching me, because I am so afraid of technology, she was teaching me how to email. And I understood, but then she moved away in order to teach. And I had to learn all over again.
So Meredith, talking about her grandmother, said she loved you all and was so grateful for all your help.
Do you have a drawing of her? Because I believe I did one. It would be a pencil drawing. Okay, let me now, I had said that I would speak of one painting every day, every Monday. I'm going to speak about the difficulty that I know. You'll show the painting number 2, but I have the story here somewhere. I am going to become a very organized person one day, but at the moment I am not. I'm going to tell you about the painting that Joni will show you. When I did the painting on the Muscat corner, I thought that everybody would be as friendly as they were, but they weren't. Listen to this. The first painting of Orchard Street was finished, and I was ready to begin the second one. An empty canvas in my right hand, my paint box on my left, an easel under my arm. I looked for a spot in which to paint. It was very early and the street was deserted. There was a store with its steel shutters down, and it was closed for vacation. I set up my equipment when, "Hey, lady, please move." I was surrounded by boxes, crates, and racks of clothing. The shopkeeper next door had rights to use the space during his neighbor's vacation. I moved. There was a store with no outdoor stands and a large sidewalk in front of it. I asked for permission to work there. "Sorry, lady, you'll block my window." One more try. "Sure, lady, if you pay me some rent." Now, nearly 2 years later, I had become part of the street and of its people. If not for Irving Adler, I would not have been there long enough for that to happen. Irving Adler stands on the left side. Can you show it, Joni?
Yeah.
Of
While I'm doing this, Meredith says that she believes they have a drawing of your hands of the grandmother's hands on Jody's head.
Yes,
and
that's
she's going
it.
to see if she can send it.
Oh, I would love it. I would love it.
So this is your Adler painting.
Okay, now look. Irving Adler stands on the left-hand side of the painting, exactly as he stood when I walked up to him on that day. day. I knew that if he said no, I would give up. It was so difficult to ask, so painful to be refused, and so bitter to know that there was no alternative for me. Some paintings can be done in studios, and some cannot. In order to paint Orchard Street as it should be painted, I knew that most of it would have to be done on the street itself. I'd like to do a painting here. Could I work in front of your business? He nodded his head. Now, I will speak about the Adlers in another painting, but I did want to speak about this. Okay? And Orchard Street, the person who commissioned me to do this, actually, he didn't commission me. I began to paint, and he saw the beginnings. And he said, I love this street. I come from Europe. I come to New York because New York is wonderful. But whenever I visit here, I go to Orchard Street because it is like Europe. There is no other place in New York that has a joy of an open-air market as Orchard Street does. And then he let me do everything I wanted to. And everything in there, I love. Let me do this. Let me just see, how much time do I have? Because I did want to speak about
15 minutes.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you who's on?
Yes.
So I'm going to just list some of the people.
I would
who are on.
love that.
Deirdre Romer, Mary Lou Bilgray de Rodriguez, Hernan Poza, Meredith Savitz, Deirdre, Stephen Schlossel, Greg Romer, Rona Rosenberg Frieser, Michelle Kauschka, Brenda Galland, Julie Williams, your son, Kenny, Eileen Cutler, Tom Tracy, just some of the people who are on right now, and Sandy Alzak and Tammy Smith. And you have a little less than 15 minutes.
Okay, but all of you are people I know all the way because we've spoken. What I miss in things like texting and the world now is that we speak only on the surface. But these are the people whom I've spoken to, and they know me and I know them. And forgive me, all of you who think that becoming a friend of mine on Facebook means that you know me and that I can know you. It doesn't work that way. I'm so happy you're watching me, and I hope that someday technology can happen so that I can speak to you or meet you and know you and not just get an angry message as I do, which said you're stupid if you don't talk to me. Okay? So please hang on to the technology until you can speak to me and tell me about yourself. That's what I need. Okay? Because if I talk to you about me, I'm speaking to you, but I don't know you unless you tell me about yourself. Okay? Now, let me go to this. I want to speak about Panama, but all the drawings I did of Panama were just of palm trees or things like that. Give me time. What do I remember of Panama? I remember the miracle of, from a nation of all white people who didn't want me, because when Hitler came, Jews were not wanted. And I came to Panama, and the first best friend I made was Chinese, Lois Lee. And their family was just like ours. And I felt so good with them. And then I met people who were brown and black and mixtures. And we became people who liked each other and knew each other. And for that I have to thank the school I went to, St. Mary's Academy. It was run by Swiss nuns. And every day, at some period of time, they would call us refugee children to the front of the class, and they would say, "What words didn't you understand?" Now, they were Swiss nuns, and I came home one day to my uncle, who could speak English, Spanish, and German, and I said, "What does "that'll do" mean?" And he said, "There's no such word." And I said, "Oh yes, Sister Maria Fernanda goes like this," and she says, "That'll do." And he says, "Oh, you mean that will do?" So for quite a while, my English was German-Swiss. And since my parents spoke Austrian German, it took me a long time to lose my accent. I think it's gone, but somebody told me I sound like Dr. Ruth Wertheimer. But I don't speak about sex. After all, I was brought up by my parents, who were prudish and Catholic nuns. Okay? But let me speak about Panama. I am going to find out before next week, I'm going to go through albums and see what I can find, because I couldn't find drawings. I did people, but I gave them the drawings. The only other drawings I have are of palm trees. And Joni's going to show you one. I want to talk to you. I still have time to talk.
You have 9 minutes.
Okay, then I want to talk about Panama. And I want to talk about my family. Because all of us, as I mentioned before, are refugees now in a strange land. We have never been in a world where for Thanksgiving if I had people whom I love come to me, I could infect them. I don't know that I carry an infection. I don't know if they do. But at the moment, we are all in a foreign land and have to be careful. Okay? My son, my other son through marriage, Greg, my Jessie, my girls, my 2 wonderful girls who are now my grandchildren, they can't come into my house because of this virus. And I am not going to play with it because so many people have died. So I wear my mask wherever I go. And you know what? On a cold day like today, it kept my nose warm. So I'm not complaining. But in Panama, we were very poor. Refugees are never rich. And I would like to tell you the most wonderful thing I learned from my granddaughter, Deeds, and her partner, whom I also love, Mike. And they gave me advice on what to do, to give away. Look and see, how many jackets do you have? How many things do you have that you cannot use when there are so many people right now who can't afford one? I saw an article in the newspaper about a boy who felt so sorry that he had so much when people don't have it. So what he did, he called the homeless shelter. So I give to the Vietnam veterans, but when I have enough packages, I'm going to call the homeless shelters. First of all, I can't drive, so they'll have to pick up. And my kids are doing so much work. I try not to bother them about other things, but they're helping me by picking up things of their own. And Kenny and Greg have done so much in Pennsylvania by speaking to people about Biden. I'm not doing any political sentences for myself, but I'm saying that for my family who are doing it. Because I need to get rid of the hate that we have. This is why I have this painting. Every day, do some act of getting to know somebody, even through reading and writing about them, who is not among the chosen in this country. I am going to be changing things. I realized, and my nephew David has been of tremendous help in counseling me what to say on these. And he said, speak of yourself and healing. Speak of what people are going through right now. What people are going through right now is a heartbreaking political world where there is no unity. Biden asked us to stop our divisions. And it just so happens I have so many friends who like Trump. So I listen to them. Because if I'm going to do what Biden wants, which is to make a unity, I will continue being close friends with people who feel the opposite of what I feel. Because they feel what I feel in other ways. And I think I have to say goodbye, right?
You have 4 minutes.
Is there anybody who has any messages for me?
Michelle said the shelters need supplies, and we're all eating in our own homes for Thanksgiving with a family toast on Zoom. Meredith Savitz said she posted that picture that you asked about on her page.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Janet Halpin is watching.
Hi.
Janine Schultz is watching.
Oh, Janine, remember Fridays. We decided we have a wonderful friendship. But because of Facebook, whenever she makes a comment and I'm technically a mess, I can't find comments. But I know she speaks to me. So we decided one day a week we're going to write a note to each other on regular email.
And Laura Silver says hi also.
Laura, the wonderful writer.
So you have a lot of people who love you who've tuned in, Mom.
I love you all. The thing is, I really do love you. I don't have a cold, but when I talk a lot, this happens.
So wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
A happy Thanksgiving. And please wear your masks. I love you all.
And stay safe.
And stay safe. I love you.